Hey friends, welcome to the Stationery Cafe Happy Hour. This is April from Penguins Creative, and we have Kelly from Kelly Love Letters here with us today, and we're going to talk about all things stationery and fun things in the community. Join us with a drink, and we'll talk about something new, something we own, something that we're looking at. Hey, how's it going, Kelly?
It's good. I actually have a real drink today because I
Oh,
felt bad that weren't we both boring last week?
just been water and LaCroix like all this time.
So I've got my cute, I'm very going to be very careful not to spill on this, but my cute cat mug, and I think it's just it's Breakfast in Paris by Stash, which is
Oh.
sort of like Earl Grey with lavender. It's kind of basic, but I really like it.
I love stash tea. They're really
Yeah.
nice. Um,
So what do you have?
I'm having a little drink of mango lassi. So
Oh,
I bought I
nice.
bought those in like the big containers from Costco. So I'm drinking it like they're very
Nice.
thick, and so it's kind of like a dessert thing. So
Yeah. May I ask why your one hand is nails painted and the other one's not?
because I went to training yesterday with Cookie, and the thing is, when he
Oh.
takes treats out of my hand, I was afraid he's gonna like scrape and eat the nail polish. So it was already
Oh.
kind of worn off, so I cleaned it. And this one's
That's
like
funny.
pretty bad too. So yeah, I need to remove it on my other hand
Pu-
as well.
puppy mom life.
I know. Training again tomorrow, but
Mm.
second to the last one, and then we'll be fully trained.
Wow. That's something.
It's funny, Elliot and I were chatting about Cookie's like behavior and performance, and I'm like, what do you think of him in training class so far? I'm like, I feel like he's a solid B. And then Elliot says B minus.
Rude. Hey, he's trying his best.
I'm like, yeah, that minus sounds like an insult. Like, the
He's not
kid that's
quite B material.
exactly just a B minus. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna dive into some stationery talk tonight. Shall I start actually?
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of funny to be talking about this because it's all sold out.
Oh,
Um,
I know. I was so like bummed, but yeah, go ahead.
so it's from Jobsjournal. He had launched his home collection of washi tape and PET tape that he designed yesterday on Etsy, on his Etsy store at 12:15. I'm speaking it like it was yesterday because the day it's released is Wednesday, but it's actually today, and
Yep.
we were all just like frantic. Around 12:30, I like poked into his shop because I already um, I got to mine. So I was just looking at like, how's it going? And then you can
Hmm.
see the listing, and Etsy does this thing where it tells you how many people have it in their carts in
Hmm.
red, like underneath each listing. And so by then, he actually had 5 tapes that he's selling for this release. And by then,
Hmm.
there was only 4 left. And that was like 15 minutes into his shop opening.
Yeah.
And then underneath each listing, it says 20 people have this in their carts.
Yeah.
And I'm
Or
just
like
like,
something like at least 20 people.
at least 20 people. And
Yeah.
so it's sold out, but I feel like I still want to talk about it because it's amazing. Like I feel like
Yes.
Job designs with such intentions into like the
Hmm.
way he wants his things to be. And so basically it's 3 regular washi tape with really good washi material. And 2 of them has that torn edge effect. So one's
Hmm.
green and one's blue, and they are actually street names of his home, like childhood home. I think somewhere in Vancouver. And so it's like washi that's meant to look like it's already torn. It's
Yes.
like a little bit of an inception there, but it's
Yes.
a full thing of washi, but with like the torn edges of a washi, so you don't have to tear yourself.
Yes. I like that.
I thought that was pretty smart. And then there's another one that's like a collage style. washi tape. So it's got like some newspaper. He said he found these vintage newspapers and he was like clipping where it shows the text like Richmond, and
Oh.
then like some stamps, some little plant, I think, like pressed onto it and like lettering. So it's really nice. And then the PET is
Mm-hmm.
a amazing invention in the stationery world, as we all know.
Yes.
It's basically you can cut as many sticker flakes as you like out of these PET tapes, or you can use them as a strip. And I think he worked with a Taiwanese tape maker this time, so the quality is really up there with a lot
Oh.
of the PET tapes that is available today. And so he made one that's kind of like ready-made collage. So with his iconic craft paper background, which I am always afraid to attempt, with like scraps of paper, numbers, flowers, his iconic style, some lily of the valley sneaked in there. So those are really nice. And then I think my favorite is the one where he actually developed, or like it's his own actual film
Mm-hmm.
photography. And so it looks like a roll of film tape. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense? It's
Yeah.
also called tape. So it's like a roll of film with like
I think they're just
images,
called like negatives, aren't
the
they?
negatives. Yeah.
Yeah.
So actual kind of photography of kind of like the journey he spent on, and then like kind of sharing that in tape form. So
Yeah.
all five of them are super collage friendly. I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like a beginner gets your hand on these, and then it's like you can easily put together a spread because he kind of did half the work for you. And so
Yeah.
I'm just really happy that he has so much love, and like it's like I think it's sold out, right? Like
Oh
you would.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because when I was pretty bummed because I had texted him and I was like, yeah, Job, I'm gonna this is gonna be my first order with you. He was like, oh cool, and like I usually go to lunch like right at 1 o'clock at work, so I think it was around like 1:10 that I was like, oh, I'm gonna go and see how it's doing, and there was one item left, and I was like, no, I missed my chance. I thought I would have enough time, but um.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
I'm
worries.
obviously I'm happy for him because like
I got
heck yeah.
you. We ordered, so
Ooh,
we're gonna just share samples, I
oh
assume, like
sweet.
all of us
Okay.
here in Seattle. And it's funny because
Yeah.
he had a listing later on or something where he's like selling samples. Like how some people don't want to commit to a full roll of PT tape. So he
Yeah.
had like a listing where it was just samples, and I was like, "Wait, scalpers?" Like when I just saw it on Etsy, I was like,
Oh,
"Is
that's
it?"
funny.
And then turns out he was scalping himself. No, just kidding.
That's awesome.
He listed it, but I'm sure that's sold out too, because people who are in I think the community, stationary community, some people may not be aware of the PET tape world yet,
Hmm.
and then like, well, what is this plastic thing, right? So
Yeah.
I think having samples is a great way to introduce people to it. So I thought that was pretty smart of him, and I hope he does pre-orders for a restock because
Yeah.
these are amazing, and a lot of people weren't able to get them. I feel like
Yeah.
if he had like say 30 of each, I could easily list like 15 people that I
Yeah,
know who
seriously.
ordered like from him of the 30. But I don't know how much he had in stock, but it's kind of
Yeah.
amazing to see it just sell out like hotcakes.
Yeah, it's I'm really happy for him and like that's he's doing the thing.
Kelly, now the dream is the two of us making
I
some cool
know.
tape. I know the contact and the maker of this tape, so I will
You
probably,
do? Oh my god.
yeah.
Well, okay. We're gonna make that happen.
Anyway, so what's your new news for today?
So this is something I debated talking about, and in fact, April and I were just talking amongst ourselves about how unimpressed we are with this product. But I was like, you know what? It's we just got the news today as at Oblation as a North American retailer for Sailor that they're going to release those inks, and I have to double check what the heck they're called again. They are Yurameku inks, that I'm sure you guys have heard of from like Tokyo oh my gosh, Tokyo
Inklings.
Inklings. Why am I like, whoa?
Because you're like thinking
For,
Tokyo Station pens,
yeah,
right? Like
that's
I always
that's
kind of get stuck there. Yeah.
yeah. So these are gonna be available mid-February from Sailor North America, which is a pretty good turnaround time for, newer Japanese products. But it's just kind of like, okay, I think one of the reasons why I don't like this ink, and this is gonna sound very
Did you say
shadow?
the name of it already?
Yeah, the
Name of this
Yurameku.
Yurameku. Do you know what that means? Yurameku.
So no.
In Japanese, it means to sway or to change or to
Right.
waver. You know.
Okay.
And so the characteristics of these inks are meant to reflect that name. And
Right.
you can go on and keep on talking about this.
Yeah. Well, see, and that sounds really cool, right? And it says the color changes depending on the length of time and the paper, a mysterious ink that shows glimpses of different colors and shades and streaks. Like, okay, that sounds really awesome. And I think part of my dismay with this might be the packaging.
Really? Also, you're actually not that mad about the ink itself. You're just like
Well,
the
I don't know, cuz when I don't know, when I look at these colors, or maybe if I just look at the color. No, even if I just look at the color and not the bottle, it's not exciting.
well,
It
to me,
doesn't.
it's too pastel. Like I feel like they're all very
Yeah.
light, and like it's some of them don't feel as readable, and they all feel
Yes.
very uh desaturated. Is that the word to
Yes.
describe these kind of
I
inks where it's like the color's not very vivid or very bright? They're very like
yeah.
light, um, and there's a joke in the community that they
Yeah.
kind of look like I'm so sorry to say this, Sailor North America, but some of our friends work in wastewater management, and the
Oh no.
jugs of water looks exactly like these different hues.
Oh my gosh. That's actually really hilarious. But like the thing about it is, I think I think maybe as a collection it seems underwhelming, but maybe if you got like, yeah, Itezora looks sort of interesting, and maybe Kangyo, those two colors, but it's like it just doesn't. Well, I don't know, because when I think about inks that I love, I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is so good. I want to tell everybody about this, and these are just kind of like, oh.
See, I have a feeling though, when Kelly in like 2 weeks' time swatches these for the shop, she's gonna come back and say, "Okay, so actually, I bought like 3 of them,"
Yeah,
because
yeah,
because I have seen swatches of these
me too.
of people doing it on I think TRP or Cosmo
Hmm.
Airlight, one of those papers that like really shows ink chroma
Hmm.
shading. And wow, the like you can see like pink and the green, like purple and the blue, and then like red and the gray, and it's just like there is some degree of nuance to these shades that pops on
Yeah, and
paper that's good for it.
that's like my love language. Seriously, like, so I don't
But
know
I have
what
a
it is.
feeling they're gonna look so underwhelming on empty paper. Like, like just some paper are just not gonna show it. And so to me, like it really isn't about either the marketing or the or the packaging or the characteristic. It's just these colors don't speak to me because I like if
Yeah,
I use inks, I want it to show and I want
yeah,
it to be vivid and bright and like really nice looking, and pastel inks just aren't for me. And I think I remember listening to Tokyo Inklings, maybe it was from CY who said that like he would like an
hmm.
ink that just be the color you expect instead of being a different color. I'm like, then the series maybe not for you, may not be for you.
Yeah,
But I like this is like the series for people who like Manyo Haha or Neko
right,
Yonagi.
right.
Those
Yeah,
people who like use the broad nibs and then you see like the nuance of the ink color. Like in your strokes, then I think these would be cool. But if you put these in a fine nib, hmm, I'm not sure
Yeah.
if the characteristic translates. Yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing. I think when I look at these, I think about I know I've talked about my coworker Andy before. You should follow her, Cascade Cryptid, on Instagram. She posts, or she has a traveler's notebook, and she does these super amazing artwork pieces. It's almost like watercolor, but she uses fountain pen ink and like a
Mm,
watercolor brush pen, and it's really cool. And I feel like these would be the sorts of colors that would be fun for that, because you're not actually writing anything.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't know, maybe it can appeal to different folks. And I just want to say that I see you, and it may not be for me, but it's for someone.
And I'm taking bets now if Kelly buys a bottle.
Yeah, come on, just throw it out. How long does it take Kelly to buy one?
I would like a sample of a few of those. Like I just want samples to play with my broad
Yeah.
glass dip pen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be so
Oh, that's right.
nice with the sweet
I
potato
haven't got to
one.
see that. Oh, I was gonna
It's
see it when I
it's
came up, and I never
so
did.
broad. It's like super stubby and it writes like amazing with like it really shows chroma shading inks well
So
just because of how much
awesome.
ink it lays down. But anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, I if anyone ever gets these, can I request like a 2 milliliter sample of a few of them? But thankfully, I'm like, whew, I'm not gonna be spending money on this. I think, I don't think I will. So moving on to the next topic, something that we own. For me, I thought I would kind of talk about this kind of like fun. I was like looking around my table today. I was like, what can I talk about that I own? And I look and was like, what about if I share like how like everyone's at home today,
Hmm.
not with Omicron cases rising, not many people are cafe journaling outside. What is my cafe journal at home setup? Because this morning I actually got a chance to kind of just sit down, relax, and journal, and I was looking on my
Nice.
table. So first,
I can
I
Spoiler alert, I can tell you what it is. It's literally like three drinks from throughout the day, and just April in like a pile of her stuff.
there's a
Okay.
reason.
What?
There's a reason I have like two coasters on my desk, okay, and like multiple cups and tumblers and stuff. But let's start with the tumblers. So first of all, because I drink so slow, I
Hmm.
need a good tumbler that keeps my drink cold or keeps it hot, like instead of it just becoming lukewarm. And
Hmm.
so we actually made our stationery cafe in the mirror
Hmm.
MIIR tumblers, right? But recently, I found that one of my favorite Japanese kind of sculptor, artist, designer, Takahata-kun, that does
Hmm.
these cute bears.
Yes, so cute.
So I don't know what the relationship is, but apparently this random bakery in Seattle, had commissioned this artist to do their logo art for them and had been
So
creating
good.
merch. And like I was there the other day at the store. I was like, so what's the story? How do you guys found Takahata-kun? And then they're like, who? Like the
Oh
people
yeah,
working,
because the
like
yeah.
had no idea. And so but they did mention someone who seems to have a Japanese name who works like currently owns Fresh
Ah.
Flowers, which is the brand, the cafe, the
And that's
bakery.
flowers, like bakery flour.
Yeah, Fresh
So it's all
Flowers.
punny. Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if maybe he or she is like knows Takahata-kun and
Yeah,
like had
maybe.
commissioned them. But anyway, I love this design because it's like basically this bear sitting in the city of Seattle. You see the Space Needle and it's drawn in this really cute way, and you got Mount Rainier on the back, like rainy day, and so it's awesome. I always need a cup like that. I also like huge mugs just because when I make tea, I'm like, I know I drink it slow, so I'm gonna make like a big thing of it. So it's super hot. And then coasters, like, you want a coaster first to like I feel like most people have wooden desk desk like I do, I feel like it gives me that very cafe journaling vibe as if I'm journaling outside. So my tables
Yeah.
are always like walnut wood or anything. And so you don't want it to stain. So that's why second plug of the Stationery Cafe. the
Nice.
the paper coaster we used to make, and actually some are still available on a blanknote.com. She's
Nice.
selling them individually, and then also she has a bunch of stock that just restocked if anyone wants
I
to
was
check that
I
out.
was gonna mention that too because I just saw her Instagram and I went on there earlier
Anyway, so they're
just
still
to look.
available. But these paper coasters. I use them exclusively for cold drinks because you know how they
Mm.
sweat,
Mm-hmm.
like so it catches the moisture. But last year during Traverse Company
Mm.
USA's coffee table trip, they were selling the coffee coasters, the Travelers Factory leather coasters, which are round coasters that are
Mm-hmm.
engraved with the Traverse Company globe logo and like made with the camel leather, the black leather, and the brown leather. So I snagged those last year and I've been using them since for hot drinks because did you know hot drinks can also warp your table? Like the heat
Oh.
actually makes the wax or something like bloom
Oh.
if you have a wooden
Interesting.
table because sometimes they treat it that way. I
Yeah.
know from experience because Elliot plays video games and his hands are always like on the edge of the table, and
Uh-huh.
then over time it's just like this disgusting mess that you can't like deal. So a coaster for your hot drinks, guys, if you're drinking on wooden tables. And so
Also,
yeah,
aren't isn't Travelers Company USA selling those again right now?
they are actually, yeah,
Yeah.
until end of, usually it's like December, but this year they did January, and it's actually going
Hmm.
to be available till the end of February. So if you
Nice.
didn't get them last year, I highly recommend checking it out this year. I
I
I have.
also I, I
Oh,
have my leather one that I got for free from Macau.
oh, nice,
So
nice.
yeah,
It's
I
a
do like
square.
it's kind of fun to like play with when
Yeah, because of the leather, like I feel
yeah.
like leather coasters just have this like fun texture, and then you're just kind of, when you're fussing with your fingers, they're just fun to play with. But yeah,
Yeah.
my desk, like my current desk, is the darker wood, so I use the camel coaster on this one. But my other table, my work table, is like the lighter wood, so I had to use the darker
Mm,
brown coaster on it too, so I can
gotta
like
mix and
see it.
match.
So I can actually see it, I guess, find
Yeah.
it on my desk. So those take care of the drinks. Do you have a snack bar near your desk, like a snack stash
I
around
do
your
well,
table?
not really. I've just on my Rascog, I got these from my
Oh my god! I mean,
or are
let
we
me.
talking about the same thing?
I have a bag of green tea candies that I was about to mention as
They're
well.
so good, right? The
They
Hokkaido.
are.
Oh
I think
man.
mine's not that brand. I think mine's another brand, but it's also,
Okay.
so basically because of all the paper treats we've got throughout the year, like throughout last year, I ordered a bunch from my shop, paper
Mhm.
treat shop, and she always includes some candies in
Yep.
those packages, and then you get Happy Meal. Sometimes people put candies and little things. London gives
Totally.
these adds a lot.
Yes.
And so I have next to me this 10 drawers that I talked about storage from
Mhm.
Michael's right last year. And one of them is exclusively just like
I
candy
love
and
that. Oh my
snacks that I've accumulated all these years. And so I'm really like, not all these years, sorry, but the past year I
god.
eat them. And then even like right now I have a little tray of M&Ms
Nice. I love
just
M&Ms.
kind of
Oh my
on the
gosh.
side. You know how like there you go to like when we used to go to events or something, there's always like
Mhm.
little trays of M&Ms for decoration
Yeah.
purposes, and
Yeah.
I'm just eating them. So snacks around my desk while I cafe journal at home. Tools. I think this is like something super mundane, but people usually like you relate. Like there's always a glue stick. My pit glue stick just rolls around my desk. Um, I like to use scissors that are from
Mhm.
Muji. They are just reliable and nice, stainless steel. So these are really great. And scrap paper. Like, what is your scrap
Yes.
paper storage? situation.
You keep asking me about storage. It's so embarrassing. I just have like
Yeah, just
shoved
it's
in
around the
between.
table.
Well, it's like shoved in between these like this is where I keep my mild liners
Ah,
and
I
then these
see.
gel day thing. And it's like in between this and like one of my acrylic drawers. So I go between using the so I bought an A4 size Graphilo slim notebook at the pen show, and
Mm-hmm.
I had asked one of my like coworkers to cut it down for me to A5
Oh,
size.
right,
So
right. I
there's
remember
this like
that.
these chunks that are left over, so I've been using it to like stamp off or
That's awesome. That's the
yeah.
paper I was going to talk about, the stamp off paper. You know how you're using
Yes,
stamps?
yes.
And even though I own a Fawn and Fauna, those stamp thingy that cleans the stamp, I just
Yeah.
never go and wet them and use them. I
Yeah, and
just
you told me that, so I never do either.
So I just grab like literally excess memo sheets from my stash and
Yeah.
tear off a page. And you know how people use it to scribble and start ballpoints or something like
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Yeah, these are just cute paper around my table that I use to clean off my stamps.
It's yeah, sometimes you just have to or I'll use receipts,
Yeah, exactly. So
But
my desk is always decorated with a single spare sheet of like stamped paper. Like there's no
yes.
really a good place to like put it. I know our friend Nita from Blank Note, she actually has like a stack of them which she clipped together with a huge clip. And so because she stamps a lot as well. So that actually
Mhm.
looks aesthetically pleasing, but
Mhm.
ours literally just looks like trash on table. And I would always like fumble around and like lift piles of stuff to
Yeah.
see if that page is on the
Yes.
table or not. You
Oh
know
my
that
god.
feeling?
Oh my god, you're speaking my language.
Like, where's that scrap piece I had like earlier? And you're just lifting.
I'm so glad it's not just me.
I know I'm not alone in this. So I'm glad I can talk about it. And then finally, a box of ephemeras. Like just,
Mhm.
I've been sorting my shit lately. Like a bunch
Yeah.
of like Happy Meal and stuff that I accrued for like for 6 months, and I finally put all the scraps and bits of paper into this box that I need to find. Okay, here it is. So it's an arch and olive box. You know how
Ah,
those notebooks
so
come with
cute.
the cases, and
Yes.
and they're pretty big. They're A5 size, and so basically in it is just a box of scrap paper. So like ephemera paper. You
Oh,
know those that
yeah,
people
that's a good
send.
idea.
And so I can like easily, how Job
Mhm.
effortlessly find pieces and bits to put on his spread.
Yes. Oh my
So I
gosh.
aspire to be like Job someday, and so this is what I work with. And I open a Traverse notebook refill, and you get those paper, and you
Mhm.
kind of don't want to throw it away. You
Mhm.
feel like you could put it in a journal someday. So into this box it goes.
Okay, so you know what's crazy about that is sometimes like at work there'll be, some customer buying a traveler's notebook for the first time and sometimes I'll help them put it together and stuff and like, "Oh, do you want any of this and they're like, "No." They like want to throw out all of it, like the
No.
paper, the cardboard, the extra elastic, and I'm like, "Don't you want the extra elastic?"
And that rectangular strip that's like so
Yes,
perfect for
yes,
the starting
yes.
page.
No, they're just like, let's just get rid of it. I'm like, no, that's part of the deal. Oh.
Enjoy the ephemera. That's what Traverse Notebook is about. And then lastly, just pens everywhere. Like
Oh yeah. Yeah,
pens
you should see
everywhere.
this situation. This
It's
is
just, and I think specifically fountain pens. Like I had them stored in these
it
superior labor pen pouches, the zipper kind that
was a
holds
good
like
zip.
probably 7 pieces, right? But then
Hmm.
there's also that thing where like you kind of don't want to always store your pens upright because like if they're kind of going on their last drop, it's gonna
Yes.
have a hard time coming down to the nib. So then I found myself switching them, because I like to use different color pens in my Hobonichi weeks. So I would
Mm-hmm.
switch out different colors, and then so I always end up at the end of a session like 5 fountain pens just strewn about on the desk, laid horizontally, and then I'm just like, oh, all right, they can stay here for another day,
Yeah, exactly.
And then they end up being part of like the black hole where you're like fumbling and looking for stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's my desk tour just now, my cafe journaling that now in retrospect sounds a little claustrophobic and like not very relaxing, but it works for me.
I have a feeling a lot of us are listening are in the same boat because I'm in the same boat.
Or maybe it's just because it's us.
Everyone else is like, no, I have my shit together. Like, oh.
Yeah, and I also move my himekuri and my calendar around a lot. Like if I need this part of the
Yeah.
desk, I'll move it to the other side, and then like if I need that part, I'll move it to this side. So they're very like agile. And
See, I have a
movable.
hard time, and I have it with me, or at least I did, of course. Seriously, oh yeah, this is the cat himekuri. I think I talked about this last time, but
Cute.
I've been having a hard time. Like, where the hell do you put this? Right? Like,
Just in your journals. Just put them in your journal.
I mean this physical
like
thing.
physically display them. Where do you physically
Like,
display them?
just falling all over the place. Like, what do I do with you?
You
but-
stack them on stuff. Like, like I have
Right.
like take advantage of the vertical space. Or something like that. I have a few drawers on my desk, and so they just like stack on drawers.
Someday
right.
we'll figure it out.
I know. Enough about me and my kind of, in retrospect, kind of sad desk, but what are you talking about this week?
So I was going to talk about my plotter, but now that I'm warmed up, I kind of want to talk about something that I haven't really shared that much with anybody.
Nice.
That I forgot that I had. It's okay, so it's a pelican. It's baby's first pelican. And it's literally right in front of me. I have it in this rickshaw pen sleeve that's the absinthe devil fairy thing.
Yes.
Just because it fits really well in there. And it's the beautiful
purple.
I think it's called, is it just called like Violet? It's an M600. M605. I think it's 605 because when there's a 5 at the end, it's the gold one. And please correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe
so it's those with the white cap and like the colorful bodies. Those kinds.
Yeah, and it's called the Soveron, I think is the model. Yeah, so it's, and they have their standard ones that are like black, and then there's black with green or red or blue. Those are like the standard normal colors that are really nice. But yeah, this one was literally it was really dusty inventory at Oblation. Nobody bought this for 2 years. And so I was like, hey mom, how about that Christmas situation? No, she was asking me what I wanted, and I was like, oh, maybe I should get this.
Wait, so you newly bought this? For some reason, I thought you had it already. Oh my goodness. It's all
no, this is a Christmas together. Babe.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's
sorry about my reaction. I was like, I should have given you a more enthusiastic reaction.
No, that's okay. It's got a dual toned nib. It is a piston filler, and it's like my first fancy piston filler pen.
I think I wanted a Severon in green, the one with the daisy. Yeah.
And they made a green one.
No, that's exactly. I wanted that one last year for my birthday.
Yeah, and that one was like even more. They raised the prices, and that was even more than this one. That's like, I've never had a Pelican because of the price, but it was. We even lowered it for customers too, and nobody bought it still. And it was like, what's wrong with this color? I think it's really pretty.
No, it's really pretty. Our friend Ink Sample, Sam from Ink Sample, she has a bunch of purple pens, and this is one of them. Hmm.
And I realized actually that I'm accumulating. Well, here's one of my. Well, no, my other sailor is purple
Yeah,
too.
your
I'm like,
Sailor Platinum is also the
and and
Levant. Yeah.
yeah, the Levant. So actually, I'm really proud of myself, you guys. I finally sent out my my platinum Levant, beautiful, amazing pen. It had a crack in the section, and
Yes,
so
I
when I wrote
remember.
with it, it like got ink all over my hands, and I didn't want to send it back, and it was this whole thing. I'm like, no, I need to do it. So I did. I find it's shipped out today. It's on its way to its home. That hopefully they're gonna fix it and send it back to me.
Did you have to include like the warranty paper or something?
No, I included my receipt because I was able to just print it at work again.
Oh, that's great. Because I was just realizing I threw away my box with like the Pelican. Sorry. Oh yeah, the platinum,
Platinum,
like
yeah.
the warranty paper
Well,
the other
what the
day.
heck?
Well, because I was cleaning and I was like, this box is really old. I remember opening it and then like looking at that paper. I was like, yeah, I don't need it. And I just tossed
April.
it.
No, see,
Oops.
you throw the box out, but you keep the little paper.
But where would I keep
Yeah, I don't.
it?
Yeah, it's a good point.
So
I don't
unless
think they
I've.
really care as long as it's like I don't know. It's funny. It'll actually be a year ago, the day this episode released, that I bought the pen in the first place, and I was like, oh, I better send that now. Hopefully they'll honor like if it's a year warranty or something. But
Alright. I don't think
um,
mine has any hairline cracks or anything. You know what? If I lose this pen, it's fine. I
April.
I have a lot. I have a lot of new
I know
pens
it's like I
coming.
worry about sending it off with the mail and everything, but now that it's not Christmas anymore, maybe it's less. No, that's not true because of all the COVID cases. My mailman at work today came in and I asked him how his day was going and he was like, "Oh, it's kind of crazy because they're having me like work extra and they're having everybody work extra because a bunch of people are out right now." I'm like, "Probably because everybody has COVID." And yeah, I felt bad. He's my favorite mailman.
I know. Our mailman lives next to us as well,
Oh,
and he
that's
goes
right.
out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
all right.
yeah, new pen,
New pen.
and
I hope your
it's got
Levant
Neko
comes back.
Yanagi in it, which is funny because you were just talking about not liking that ink.
I didn't say I don't like that ink. I just feel like it's overrated. I
I
don't.
could see that, except
A
it's
lot of
not.
people have it, so I don't feel the need to have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And like another one of my pastel ink was Sailor Ink Studio 162. That one's like the
Yeah,
green.
yeah, yeah.
That
I
looks a
like
little
that
bit
one.
grayish. I sold it too because I was like, I just don't use it that much.
What? Why didn't you ask me? This is one of those things. Remember when I sold off
Hey,
stuff?
I sold it to Sarah, so it's still in the
Oh,
family. Okay.
okay, cool. That's fine.
She's as close as you
I
are.
know. I'm not. Well, no, I'm not as close as she is. I'm too far away.
And plus, you don't need that in your ink
No, I
collection.
do not.
All right. Next topic. Oh my God, inks. So things that I was
Oh
looking
yeah,
at.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So these came out actually in December, and we didn't have the chance to talk about it.
What?
So Lennon Toolbar. This was the release that they had released after they posted that silly photo on their Instagram account. Like if you go back
Hmm.
to their Instagram account, back in
Yeah.
like December 2nd, they put this like hunk meme on their
Oh,
feed
ooh, I like that one.
where it's like the guy in front is like the sneak peek while the guy at the back is like the item that's about to be released next week. And so it's kind of like
Oh,
people
that's
are already
funny.
looking at the sneak peek instead of caring about what's newly launching. So
Oh
it's
my
kind of
god,
funny.
that's hilarious.
So anyway, this newly launched series, I'm actually really hoping that Yoseka or anyone else would carry them. It's um, winter food series. So in
You know we're
Asian
all about
culture,
food.
I know. In Taiwan specifically, I don't know if I can speak for
Hmm.
any other countries, but there's this concept like in the winter you need to eat rich food to like kind of supplement your body and like some
Mm,
cheese stuff where you gotta eat something that kind of helps build up your stamina to withstand the winter. And so
totally.
some medicinal and herbal food are usually part of it. And one of the dishes is this like ginger
Hmm.
chicken dish thing. And
Sounds
so
so good.
so it's funny because these four new ink colors are
Hmm.
literally like ingredients that goes into this dish.
Oh
So
my god, that's cute.
you got this green, which is cabbage, so
Oh
cabbage,
yeah.
and then you got this brown, which is like sesame oil,
Hmm.
and this red is goji berry,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
medicinal berries, and then the black ink is from chicken, like a type of chicken that's usually called the silky. Their skin is
Oh
actually
yeah.
dark, and so basically you like boil and really cook this chicken and all these medicinal ingredients, and then like you eat it and you just feel warm inside. So this is
Oh my
literally
god, I
a
love
fun
that.
a funny release, I feel like, of four in colors. The thing is, I don't want to own a huge bottle of each color. Like these are
Right.
kind of huge, like volume bottles of like a red color or a very like black color.
Yeah.
But apparently, they were able to collaborate with Kuratake in Taiwan. You know how we
Yeah.
talk about those tampon pens, the
Yes.
the
How
Karapo
could I forget?
pens?
Oh, and they have little tiny
So they
samples.
created, like, I think they work with
Wow.
Kuratake Taiwan to package
Nice.
their
Oh,
linen
and
toolbars.
they did little drawings of, oh, that's so cute.
Yes.
Oh my
So it's
god.
basically a set. Each set has two inks. So there's one set that has the red and green one, and the other set has the black and the brown one. And then it comes with three Carapo inserts. And so it's kind of like, and then these little bottles are the mini bottles, which I
Hmm.
think might be just 5 milliliters or like
Hmm.
maybe even 10. Actually, I'm not quite sure. So there's still
Oh, I'm
plenty,
zooming
but like
in. It
but the
says
mid
30.
30 in
Wait,
those?
wait,
No, no,
hold
no.
on.
The small ones. No,
No,
no.
oh no, I zoomed in the wrong bottle. Sorry. Oh, so but 30 mils, you could buy those. That's not that big, April.
I mean, but I want these mini ones, and it's really like it's just
It says
easy.
15
15.
mils.
So kind of like
Yeah.
the Iroshizuku mini bottles.
Yeah.
So still
Yeah.
still quite like it's a lot, to be honest, 15
It is a lot.
milliliters.
I've had
And
Konpeki 15 mil for like literally 2 years.
so I kind of like want the set, where you have like a
Yeah.
little tube of this ink, and then you use it with the Carapo pen, and then like it's just enough to whet your appetite, pun
Uh-huh.
intended.
Ah,
And
ah, I love that, April.
I love it too.
Oh my
So,
god. That
so
is such a cute like
and
collection.
they kind of released this around Christmas, and then they were using it to draw Christmas trees. But if you think
Yeah,
about
that's
it, they're
great.
using like food ingredients to create Christmas trees.
Oh my
I just
gosh.
I just love them so much. So yeah, this is a goofy, fun product, and I kind of want it.
Yeah. Well, if hopefully when you're able to go to Taiwan, hopefully,
Yes,
hopefully, maybe
yes.
you can go to the Lennon Toolbar headquarters. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Or all
All
the good
right.
stationery stores.
So, um,
Oh my
what's
gosh.
your
So
thought list?
I texted April, okay, and I was like, April, have we talked about this? Because I think this is old. She's like, yeah, that's so old. I'm like, but I want to talk about it. And I don't think we did. So remember last week when April was talking about the website
Yeah,
somethingsofmine.com, which is
yeah.
SUM? And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, cool, let me look at this website now because April basically forced all of us to do that. And I came across, oh, is it Catslifepress or Catslifepress? Because it's,
Catslifepress.
okay.
Kelly, where have you been? Under a rock? Did you know Catslifepress is based in Portland?
What?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. And so
Wait, are you serious?
Nita and us, we've been ordering from them directly all this time, all these
Stop.
years. And I
Wait, are
ordered
you
this
kidding
exact set.
me?
Yeah.
April.
She has a
Wow,
cat. It's
okay.
very cute.
That's great. I'm glad I know
so
that.
So Kelly, the person who works in Portland, almost went and buy something from Malaysia of a creator that's based in Portland. So yes.
Nice. All right, come at me with that one because that's intense. Um, so there are these really, maybe people are like me and don't know. There are these really cute like circular like seal rubber
Mm,
stamps,
yes.
and there's kind of two versions, and
Wood
they're
mounted. She's really known for her wood mounted stamp.
oh yes,
Hmm.
um, and they're so they're seasonal themed. So they have spring, summer, autumn, winter, and they also have an extra one for a rainy day, which obviously, of course, Portland. Oh my gosh. So
It's all coming together now.
so the first version of these, it says like for example, a spring day, it's got a little cute flower.
Hmm.
And then I like that it says March, April, May, June at the top.
Hmm.
And then it's got like the 1 through 31, and then is that year at the bottom?
Yes, year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically a way to like, do your collage journaling and like circle March, circle the 20th or whatever, and then write the year in there. And then the other version is just like it says officially spring, and it's got like the dictionary definition of what spring is, and then like a date to put at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think I
I
would like those better.
I think I have a spring day and a summer day. I have those two.
You
They're
didn't have
really
autumn and winter?
no, I don't need those in my life. I'm just kidding.
Ah.
And they're huge too. They're like kind of like palm size. They're
Oh
like
my
really
god.
big, and so it's really great for like like you're collaging and then you want to like do a
Yeah. Yeah.
seal decorating on it. It's really nice.
Wow. So, wait, I can order from the vendor directly?
We've done that before where we literally like as if we're wholesaling and then like just request
Oh.
send in a PO. And I feel like Oblation should carry
I was gonna
these.
say, wait, why don't I get these at Oblation?
You guys should try to carry some of our stuff.
Oh
It's
my
so
god.
good. Like put it in that section next to Traverse Notebook. It's gonna sell like
Yeah.
hotcakes.
Oh my god. And people keep asking for more stamps, and we kind
And
of
and
sold
actually
out.
collage has a lot of Cat's
I
Life
was
Press
yeah,
items too. So
cool.
all this
Cool,
time.
cool, cool. Oh,
She's really
okay.
known. Cat's Life Press is really known for her typography one, where it's like a
Mhm.
word like Happy Mail or like send love, and then with like the little bracket next to the
Yeah.
stamps. So those are kind of her. Like I think she definitely started that trend. So
Well,
her catalog is kind of really hard to go through. It's a super.
catalog.
Anyway,
Oh
yeah, it's
man.
you should take a look on her website later. It's kind of like those old school website where it's like
Mhm.
that's why I don't think people stumble across her site much. She works mostly with retailers, but
Mhm.
you can totally try to get Ablation onto this.
Oh yeah. Usually for something like this, if I say it's a good idea, Jennifer's usually like, "All right, let's do it." So maybe I should just be like, "Jennifer, these will sell really well. Let's do
And they're
this."
loco.
Yeah,
So
that's even better. Less
it's even
shipping,
better. Yeah.
possibly not shipping at all, and they just drop it off. I guess
I
it
mean,
depends.
supporting your local artist is what I meant to say.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
totally. We love that.
Yeah.
Ah, well, let me know if you're like me and you didn't know about this, and I guess you can also let me know if you're like, "Wow, Kelly, how are you? How are you a part of this podcast?"
No, it's okay. I was just messing with you. Even though it was,
Uh,
yeah. Next time we'll add you when we make a group order.
yes, please.
All right. Finally, to kind of wrap it up, we talk about something fun. I want to talk about two new items from Loft.
Oh, they're
One is
loft. Oh,
unfortunately limited edition, Loft exclusive. Do you know, like, when you go to Kinokuniya, do you come across that illustrator that does the Shiba Inu with like food, like
yes, yes, I
not
know what you
not
mean.
Natsuka
It
is
has
the
like the cherries, right?
yeah, like it's
Yep.
usually like a watercolor hand drawn Shiba. Sorry, not the very typography type, but like actually watercolor Shiba Inu.
Hmm.
And sometimes he's like eating a hamburger or he's like with the Japanese dessert and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, this artist, he had collaborated with Loft to come out with a special series of stationery items that are called Neko to Manma, which is like
Manma.
cat and like munchies basically, you know.
Ah,
So it's just these
oh,
cats with
oh
like
my
a hamburger between them, a cat's next to like this pizza, a cat sitting on like sushi, two cats embracing a cannoli, like a cat
god.
sitting on an egg omelet, and it's just so cute. So they come in like sticker flakes, sticker sheets, file folder. Loft is really good at doing like
Yeah.
set stationery stuff. So
Oh, and then there's one that's like it's got the cat in the photo.
yes, two
Oh.
cats staring into a bowl of miso shiru.
Oh
So it's
my
just, and
god.
his style is just, I just love his watercolor style. It's like very like children's book ish, and it's still
Yes.
very cute, and the food is very lifelike. So I just wish I could get my hands on these, but I know it's like I probably can't. It's one of those things where you have to buy it at Loft. So
So we're just
anyway,
gonna
so
cry. It's fine.
that's one thing, and then the
That
other
makes
thing
me
I want
want
to
a
talk about
burger.
Loft. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is Loft. You know how
Mm,
um, it's very similar to how Mindwave did the Kotori Machi series,
yeah, it
where
is.
they designed basically this universe of shop fronts. Well, Loft decided to come out with a series of stationery in the sense of stationery, where it's like got pen, notebooks, letter sets, um, folders, memo sheets, anything, but along the theme of retro hotel. So
Mhm.
they came up with four imaginary hotels. One is like this in on this mansion that's on like an alpine mountain. I think it's a little bit of a nod to that beautiful Swan Lake one up in Vancouver, up in Canada.
Oh.
I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but if you know, you know. So it's like this
Mhm.
old school mansion with like the alpine mountain behind it. So the whole theme is blue, and so you get like a file folder, this little zip pouch, pen case, and then this old school kind of keychain that looks like
Mhm.
the key you would get when you go to a hotel like that. So retro hotel vibe. So that's one of the hotel.
And
The
washi.
other
Don't forget
one,
the washi.
oh yeah, the washi tapes too. And the other hotel is like this pink themed
Mm.
summery ajisai, which is hydrangea theme. So it's kind of like
Mhm.
located at this like kind of tropical area. I think they kind of call it like the summer resort. The
Mhm.
third type is what is this third one? I think
Nikiza
like kind of
or
retro
Mimosa.
onsen, yeah, onsen style one or something like that. And this is
Mhm.
so it's very yellow and that has that retro look. And then the last one is kind of like a seaside, like lighthouse in the horizon, very teal, green, blue series with like Lily of the Valley as like one of the logos. So
So that's
I
the
just
April one, right?
I know this is the one that I
Those are
want.
your colors.
This whole set. I want this whole set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like I can't like deal with cute themed items like, and then to like ravage my wallet with like so many items in the set. I
Yeah.
want it all.
It's pretty rude, actually.
Why does Japan get cute stationery?
Uh it's it's just they just, it's the worst and also the
The
best.
best. All right, wrap it up. What's the last thing you're gonna recommend to the
Ooh.
listeners?
So okay, I don't know if I've talked about this anime before. Don't worry, I'm not talking about an anime. I mean, for the thing. But okay, remember Chihayafuru? It's this kind of slice of life slash sports anime, but it's not really sports because it's like competitive karuta, which I know we've talked about karuta before, um, because Hobonichi actually released as their like freebie a couple years ago. It was a set of karuta cards, which is this sort of Japanese. I don't want to say it's like memory, but it's like someone you're sitting there with your deck of cards, some dude starts reciting a poem and you have to like pick which card like has the rest of the poem on it. Isn't
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah. I remember something like that.
so in the anime? It's like, the super intense, like, who's gonna get it first, and the drama and everything. So anyway, that's besides the point. So Little
That's
Happy
what Karuta
Things,
is.
yeah, Little Happy Things has released this product called Japanese Karuta cards in Polonia box. Um, so, and I looked into it. I was like, what? Did they actually have like the poems on those? But they're actually just um they're blank Karuta cards, and it says you can feel the texture, thickness, and warmth of traditional Japanese paper. So it looks kind of, is it like silk screened on there, or it's these really
Yeah,
beautiful
it's very like
designs.
washi paper, different texture, different style and design, and they're kind of like playing card size, a little bit
Yeah.
smaller, right? And so they're
Yeah,
just
so
fun
that's
cards, and you can,
yeah.
you know how like in Happy Mail we like to include little memo cards, scraps, or do
Yes.
collages on them. So I think this is kind of like you can use it for that. You can stamp on it, put little
It's very
stickers on it.
collage worthy and tip in worthy, and you can buy a sample bag of 11 cards, or you can buy the box for almost $50.
Oh,
Which
but it
it's a
comes
lot. You get a lot of them.
it comes in that beautiful box. That's
Yep.
why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's cool.
It's one of those ephemerary things that people like to.
Yes.
Yeah. Hmm. Nice. I think that's a great ending to this. I'm still waiting every day for the Kotori Machi new line to drop on Cute Things from Japan. So you guys will know when I talk about those.
Yes. I keep
And
going back to see if they got new stuff.
I
I'm
know,
like,
me
nope,
too.
still no new stuff.
I know you have no idea how many times I refreshed Cute Things from Japan since like last week. Anyway, um, I guess that's it. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to the Stationery Cafe. We are on Instagram where we will post snapshots of things we talked about. So take a photo of that pen for me, Kelly. And
Yes.
then we also have a Patreon where we actually will start sharing the videos of these
Hmm.
recordings for our higher tiers, the tall tiers, which is only $12 a month. So if you like to support us, Patreon is the way to go. And we look forward to bringing you another fun episode next week. Bye, Kelly.
Bye, April.